The road to South Carolina repeating as national champions in women's college basketball is pretty much an easy path, and I will explain. Y'all stick around, hit that like, share, comment, let me know y'all's thoughts, and also don't forget to subscribe. All this stuff's pretty easy, pretty simple, don't take a whole lot of time. Hit that subscribe button, join this channel, hit that bell notification, that way you guys get notified when I put out my content. Let's get back to it. Like I said, the road for South Carolina repeating as national champions in women's college basketball is pretty much laid out for them, pretty easy in their bracket. They have, in my opinion, it's one of the more easier brackets to navigate through in the NCAA tournament starting this week. South Carolina is the overall #1 seed. No surprise there. I think everybody in the world knew that coming into the selection show last night. 32-0, undefeated, no blemishes. The best team in all of college basketball right now. And it really ain't even close, to be honest with you. But they have one of the more easier tournament brackets to navigate, in my opinion. Some of the teams in their brackets they faced this year, they have a couple teams that they faced this year in Maryland and UCLA. Maryland wasn't really no contest. UCLA took the lead going into the half, but then South Carolina came out the second half and did what South Carolina done all year: dominated, take over, made some adjustments, and just the depth, the size, and the talent just overwhelmed UCLA. And I ain't taking nothing away from UCLA. UCLA's a good team. I really think they will be making some noise in the NCAA tournament going forward next year once they get some more key pieces on their roster. But another team in South Carolina's bracket that's kind of like could be maybe a Cinderella, like an upset in, sleeper or whatever, would be Creighton. Last year, Creighton took down Iowa in the first round, so you can't really sleep on Creighton. Them young ladies can shoot the ball, as everybody saw last year. They can shoot the ball, they can play some solid defense, rebound the ball, all that good stuff. But when you look at South Carolina's overall total bracket, I think South Carolina has a good high percentage of making it back to the Final Four national championship. The other #1 teams in the bracket was Stanford. They had one of the #1s, Indiana, and Virginia Tech. When I look at all them brackets, Stanford, they have a couple teams in their bracket that could derail them from getting to the Final Four, and that would be Iowa and Louisville. Iowa, everybody knows how well of a shooter Caitlin Clark is, one of the best three-point shooters in the game, probably the best three-point shooter in my opinion. I think so. I love Zia Cook, the Gamecocks, but I think Caitlin Clark is one of the best pure three-point shooters in all of women's college basketball today. But you got them in Stanford's bracket that can knock them out. Louisville, another good team that could come out of that bracket. But outside of that, Stanford's, if Iowa can manage to not get upset like they did last year, I think it's gonna come down to a Stanford Iowa matchup in that bracket to see who goes to the Final Four. Then you got, like I said, you got Indiana, another one of the #1s. They play. They have a bracket that's pretty similar to Stanford. They got a couple more teams that could cause them havoc in their bracket. #2 seeded Utah, #3 LSU, and #7 North Carolina State. North Carolina State is a pretty good team. Probably one of the sleeper teams in that bracket that could come out of that bracket and go to the Final Four, in my opinion. I really haven't watched Utah play a whole lot this year, so I don't know a whole lot about Utah. But I have seen LSU play, and I really don't think they are at that level to get to the Final Four just yet. They're missing a couple pieces on their roster, in my opinion. But I think that bracket could come down to Indiana and North Carolina State, in my opinion. But we shall see. And in the final bracket, which I think is the toughest bracket for the #1 seed, and that is Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech got the raw end of the deal when it comes to the seeding and the teams in their bracket to try to get to the Final Four. They have UConn, the number 2 seed. They got Tennessee, which is playing tremendously here as of late. They the number 4 seed. Then you got Ohio State, another team from the Big Ten that's played real good this year. Was up there for a long time undefeated with South Carolina. Finally got knocked off. But they're a good team from the Big Ten. And then a couple other teams that could be sleepers, could upset people. I feel like, this is just my opinion. Y'all can drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. But some teams that I think in their bracket that could cause some havoc as well, they could bust that bracket, is North Carolina, Southern Cal, Baylor, and South Dakota State. Yeah, South Dakota State. You heard that right. The Jackrabbits, they're no slouch. I think they are a good shooting team. I think they have an opportunity. They could disrupt. They could probably pull an upset. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do a bracket or not. I mean, I'm not really into playing these bracket challenges too much. I usually do one on the men's side just for fun, but I'm going all the way South. I'm going all the way South Carolina anyway. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do one. I ain't decided yet, but I mean, these are just some teams, like I said, that could cause Virginia Tech, UConn, Tennessee, Ohio State. It cause these teams some trouble. But when I look at all the brackets, this is how I feel they're going to shake out. But like I said, you guys can drop a comment, let me know. Of course, I got South Carolina making it back to the Final Four. Like I said earlier, they played Maryland, they played UCLA. They haven't played Notre Dame. I think that would be one that I'd be a little uncomfortable playing, because I don't know a whole lot about Notre Dame, to be quite honest with you. But I think South Carolina's going to navigate through their bracket pretty smoothly and come out of there, make it to the Final Four. As far as the Stanford bracket, like I said, I think it's going to be a Stanford-Iowa matchup if they don't, if they don't fall apart like they did last year to Creighton. But I think it's going to be Stanford and Iowa. And I actually have, I think Iowa can beat Stanford. I think I got Iowa coming out of that bracket, to be honest with you. I really like Caitlin Clark and the way she handles the ball coming up the court. She's not scared to shoot from anywhere. She's got some players down low in Monica Zanano, I think that's how you say it now. I'm not sure, but I mean, they got some bigs down low that can take care of the ball, that can rebound, real physical down low. But I just think, I think overall, I think Iowa matches pretty good with Stanford, and I have Iowa coming out of that bracket. The Indiana bracket, like I said, that could be an interesting bracket. I really like Indiana. I think they played pretty well all year. But that bracket, I'm gonna have to go with Indiana. I like them. I like their play. And like I said, but it wouldn't surprise me if NC State come out of that bracket, to be honest with you. But I don't think LSU and Utah really would make it through that bracket. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. I like Indiana in that bracket. And then the fourth bracket, the Virginia Tech bracket, like I said, that's a toss-up. Like I said, there's so many teams. I don't see Virginia Tech making it out of that bracket, to be honest with you. I like UConn. I think I heard the other day that AZ Fudd is back. So if UConn is healthy, I think they're gonna make a run in that bracket. But don't sleep on Tennessee. I think, like I said, I think Tennessee's been playing exceptionally well. If they had Tamari Key back, I would feel a whole lot confident picking Tennessee in this bracket. But I think in the end, I will go with UConn in that bracket. So when you look at it, I got South Carolina, Iowa, Indiana, and UConn as my Final Four. So that's that. What's that? Two number ones and two number twos. So that's the way I think it's going to shape out as far as the Final Four. And I think that's going to be some interesting matchups. So that would put South Carolina versus Indiana, I guess it would be, and Iowa versus UConn in the Final Four. So that'd be an interesting Final Four matchup right there. I really, like I said in another one of my videos, I really love to see South Carolina take on a Big Ten team like Indiana or Iowa to see how they match up. And I know all of America would love to see South Carolina versus Iowa. I mean, everybody, we're talking about the National Player of the Year candidates, and Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. I mean, who would not love to see that in the final, in the championship matchup, to see how that game plays out? I would. I wanna see us take on an Indiana or an Iowa, a team from the Big Ten, a team that we haven't played. You know, somebody that would show us probably a little different game than what we've seen, you know, in the past. And I think that would be a good matchup, a good test for the Gamecocks in the championship matchup. Because, like I said, we already played Stanford. We already played UConn before. I mean, we've already played North Carolina State, all them teams. So I would like to see an Indiana versus South Carolina, or an Iowa versus South Carolina kind of championship matchup, or something like that. A matchup like that. Somebody we haven't played, we haven't seen in the past. But in the end, I mean, I think South Carolina is gonna repeat its national championship regardless of who they play. I mean, when you look at South Carolina's team, we are deep. We have a deep bench. We from 1 to 10, I mean, when you take the starters out, I mean, there's really no fall off. There's little to no fall off whenever you put the next woman in. I mean, we go deep from 1 to 10 with no fall off hardly at all. But we can actually go 12 deep. And we have a couple of bench players outside of the 10 that I mentioned that can go in there and give us valuable minutes. And yeah, they're younger, raw talent, but I still think they would be able to help the team. So when you look at depth and size, like I said, size, I mean, you take out Aaliyah Boston, you throw Cardoza in, I mean, that's 2 more inches right there. Boston's like 6'5", Cardoza's 6'7". I mean, you still have that dominant inside paint presence, no matter if you have Boston or Cardoza in. I love to see Cardoza and Boston in. That is I mean, who you gonna guard? Who you gonna guard in the paint whenever you look at it that way? So I think South Carolina's team is real deep, real experienced, real hungry. They know what's in front of them. Trying to go undefeated for the year and all the way to the national championship. Be one of the few teams that have done that. So looking forward to seeing, you know, how this tournament plays out. But like I said earlier, y'all drop a comment. Let me know how y'all think the bracket's gonna shake out. Let me know if you guys have any sleeper teams or teams that I didn't mention that's out there. Let me know in the comment section. Also, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Try to get my subscribers up. It's an easy, simple process. Don't cost you anything. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you guys get notified when I put out my content. If you like this kind of content, Gamecock related, women's basketball related, anything Gamecocks related. I mean, I do football videos as well. Go back to some of my videos and watch them, but I do football videos as well. But hit that subscribe button. Like I said, it don't cost you anything. It's free. Hit the notification bell. Like and share this video. That's all I have for this video. And until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you guys for watching. Gamecock Chuck, I'm out. Go Gamecocks.